Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today we are going to start with a fresh topic, and we will not directly approach our topic, but we'll start with a narrative. Imagine you are going to a stationery shop for purchasing several items for your normal schooling. Consider you are purchasing 3 pens and 1 eraser and 4 pencils. Okay, and the total sum that you paid to the shopkeeper is 100 rupees. Now if I want to represent this data, a quantitative data. Why quantitative? Because there are numbers involved in this. So a verbal quantitative data, if I want to represent it mathematically, I can denote pens with X, denote eraser with Y, denote pencils with Z. So 3 pens, the cost of 1 pen is X, the cost of 1 eraser is Y, the cost of 4 pencils is Z, the cost of pencils is Z, so total cost of 4 pencil is 4Z. Total cost of 1 eraser is 1Y. 1Y can also be written as single Y. Cost of 3 pens is nothing but 3 into cost of 1 pen, that is 3x. Total cost of 3 pens is 3x. Total sum gives me rupees 100. So this is the mathematical representation of the data, which has terms like these. Okay, these terms are nothing but variables. Why? Because it has alphabets that can take value ranging from 0 or 1 till infinite. So the values of these alphabets vary, hence those are called as variables. So the number that you have along with the variable is called as a coefficient. No matter the value of this coefficient remains same. 3 means 3 only, 1 means 1 only, 4 means 4 only, its value cannot change. But because this variable is multiplied to this coefficient, the whole term's value varies, and hence the whole term is called as a variable. And if this algebraic expression has an equal to sign and is equated with some constant or a number or another term, this together is called as a linear equation. Okay, now if you have any other number apart from this which does not have any variable, so suppose 11, so this 11 does not have any variable. So any number which does not have any variable is called as a constant. Its value, this term's value remains constant, and hence it is called as constant, and this is called as variable. In this, X is the main variable and 3 is a coefficient. So this representation of a verbal quantitative data into mathematics is called as algebraic expression. Okay, so today we are going to learn some new concepts in algebraic expression. So being the introductory lecture, we'll just discuss the basics in this chapter. Let's move ahead. So a term can be subtracted or added to another term only when the variables are same. Here they are different, so I cannot add these variables directly until and unless I know the value of these variables. Okay, so now assume that I want to add 2 more coins to this and 4 more red coins to this. So now can I add these? So 2 and 2, this becomes, the addition of these coins becomes 4 blue coins and 4 plus 3, 7 red coins. I cannot add 4 and 7 because they are different in color. So this variable, this term has a different variable and this term has a different variable. So you need to remember that. How many terms are there in this? So there are 2 terms. the term containing blue coins, the term containing red coins. Always imagine it like that in quantitative way. So it becomes very easy for you to interpret and solve the problem. Now, since we have discussed about algebraic expressions and terms are nothing but variables and constants. Now, variables, if you talk, the variables consist of a variable and a coefficient. So do not forget that. So variable and coefficient. So together as a term, it will become a variable because its value changes based on the value of the variable. Constants, whose value does not change. Now we will learn one more topic, that is like terms and unlike terms. Whenever you have a group of terms or collection of terms and you are supposed to classify them. Why to classify? Because you are supposed to operate them. Since we are doing mathematics, I'll have to do some mathematical operation like addition, subtraction. For this purpose, you need to classify them into like terms and unlike terms. Okay, so based on that classification, we learn how to operate mathematically on those like and unlike terms. So moving ahead, so this is a collection of different terms. So you see one term over here, the other term over here. Likewise, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 terms. You are supposed to classify them between like terms and unlike terms. So like terms are those which have same variable and same power. So if I have same variable and same power, the variables or the terms having those variables will be called as like terms, irrespective of the different coefficients. So let's just figure it out which of the terms are like terms based on the variables that they have. 5a. So there is one term with the variable a raised to 1. Okay. 15a minus 21a. So is there any other term having? Yes, 12a. So these are the terms having a as variable, only a. We have ab, we have a square b, but I am not interested in that. As I said, it should have same variable with the same power. Okay, there shouldn't be even a single difference or a small difference between the power of that variable or addition of some other variable to it, like ab. So I cannot consider ab as the same as this like term. Okay, so I'll have one group of like terms over here. A, 15a, 12a, minus 21a. Make sure that there is no other term having the same variable or same like terms. So this is my first group. Now let us find the second group. Now AB, a raised to 1 and b raised to 1. AB, a square b. Can I take this? No, because a square means there are two a's in this variable. Okay, so AB, 19ab. Can I take this? No. Any other AB term? Not there. So there are two terms of AB, which is minus 13ab, comma 19ab. Okay, let's move on to the next group of like terms. That is a square b. A square b, a square b, a square b. Any other term with variable a square b? No. So I'll just write it. 4a square b, comma 7a square b, comma minus 6a square b. Always remember, if it's a minus negative term, so minus sign should be there along with the term. Now what are the remaining ones? The remaining ones are z. There are only 4 types of like terms in this. bunch or the collection. Okay, so moving on to the next one, 41Z, 3Z and 11Z. So next bunch is 3Z, 41Z, 11Z. Now let us cross check. How do we cross check whether we have grouped or classified all the like terms together? So there are 12 terms over here as we counted in the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the group of like terms that we have. How do we call it as unlike terms? So these all terms, when I kept it without any same type of variable, so those will be called as unlike terms. So 5a minus 13ab, 7a square b, 41z. These terms, if I keep them together, they will be called as unlike terms because they don't have same variable or ditto or variables. I hope this is clear to you all. In this algebraic expression, we learn that it has a variable term and a constant term. Okay, so 12 is a constant because its value does not change. Okay, this is one of the terms. This is the other term, 3x, in which 3 is the coefficient and x is the variable. No matter, 3's value does not change, but x can be anything. It can be 1, 0, 10, 20. It cannot be 0, sorry. It can be 1, 2, 4, 1000, billion, like that. So because 3 and x are multiplied together, the whole term's value depends on x. So together this term is called as a variable. Why? Because the term's value changes, it varies because of the presence of this unknown term x, and this is your constant. So remember, an algebraic expression can have a constant or a product of a constant and a variable. It can have only 12 also. It can have only 3x also. It can have more terms like 4x square. Okay, it can have one more term like 3xy. Okay, I can have 2x also, but then that 2x gets added to 3x, so it will together become one term. So like that, an algebraic expression can have more than one terms, one or more than one term. So how do I differentiate whether it's a term or it's a combination of terms? So here, this is one term, this is one term, this is another term, this is another term. So you can see it clearly that the terms are separated by a plus sign or a minus sign. Okay, so a plus sign or a minus sign separates two terms. If the terms are like terms, they get added or subtracted and become one term. But here, all these are unlike terms. Since we have studied what are like and unlike terms, you can see that all these are unlike terms, so I cannot add them. So plus, plus, plus separates my four terms of this algebraic expression. So based on the number of terms, how is an algebraic expression classified into monomials, binomials and trinomials? We'll learn into the further segment. Okay, consider these terms. The first algebraic expression is having only one term, that is 2x. The coefficient is 2, x is my variable. So whenever the algebraic expression has only one term, it is called as a monomial. Here we add one more term to it, or you may subtract it also. So there is no hard and fast rule that you are supposed to add only. You can have another term added or subtracted from it. So I have written 2x plus 3x square. So since these two are unlike terms and they are separated by a plus sign, they have two terms. So this expression is a binomial. Next one, 2x plus 3x square plus 4y is a trinomial because it has three terms. Now here in this one, I have four terms, but if you see that 2x and 2x, or you may consider this as 3x. So 3x and 2x have same variable. Though the coefficients are different, they have same variable, so these together are like terms. And like terms are what happens with like terms? They are added or subtracted. So since it was 3x plus 2x, like 3 pence plus 2 pence gives you 5 pence. So it becomes 5x plus 3x square plus 4y. So it is also a trinomial since it has 3 terms. Now, whether an algebraic expression has 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, it is called as a polynomial. So all these are called as polynomials. You may have read word polynomials by now. So polynomials is nothing but any monomial, binomial or trinomial. Let's move on to exercises and start solving the problems. So before jumping on to the problem, I would just like you to understand what or how the polynomial is explained. So a polynomial is any algebraic expression with one or more terms. So it can have 3x plus 4y, like that, one term or more terms with non-zero coefficients. So as we know that the number with the variable is called as coefficient. So you cannot have 0z. Okay, 0. Rather than writing 0z, you eliminate this and write it like this. So it does not have any zero coefficient. So it will have always a negative or a positive coefficient. Variables having non-negative integral exponents. So the variables which are over here, I can write it as a non-negative number. Okay, the power should be non-negative number. So it can be 2, it can be minus 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, like that. So the variable should have non-negative integral exponents. You cannot have x raised to 1 by 2, or you cannot have x raised to minus 3. It should be non-negative. Non-negative means either positive or 0. You can have x raised to 0. But what is x raised to 0? X raised to 0 is nothing but 1. Any number raised to 0 is 1. So you can have a 0 integral exponent power, but you cannot have a negative integral power. Okay, so this is my polynomial. Okay, the first question for the day: identify the terms with variables and their coefficients and the constant terms in each of the following expressions. So we are supposed to identify the terms with variables and their coefficients and the constant terms that we have in each of the following expression. So I would like to draw a table. Okay, so first we are supposed to identify how many terms are there. So there are 1, 2 and 3 terms. So I'll write the terms. 7a square is one term, minus a is another term, and plus 16 is the third term that this problem has. How many terms are there with variables? So these are the 2 terms with variables. So 7a square is with the variable a square, and minus a is a term with variable a. What is its coefficient? So coefficient of 7a square is the number next to a square, that is 7. Minus a, so it will be minus 1. And what is the constant term that it has? So constant term is 16. This is where we solve the first sum. Please go through it again. Moving to our next problem. Minus 0.75 pq plus 0.25 p minus 0.32. So we see there are 3 terms: a pq term, a p term and a constant term. So I'll write all the 3 terms. 0.75 pq, another term is 0.25 p, and another term is minus 0.32. As I have mentioned earlier, you are supposed to use the negative sign along with the coefficient or the constant. Okay, so terms with variables are these 2 terms are there with variable. This is a constant because it does not have any variable, so it directly comes over here. That is minus 0.32. Terms with variables are 0.75 pq and 0.25 p. Now what is the coefficient? Coefficient is the number next to my variables. So 0.75 is my coefficient over here and 0.25 is my coefficient over here. And what is the variable? PQ is the variable over here, P is the variable over here. With this, we finish the second question. Please go through it again. Here comes the third problem, or a subtype of the first question. Now, how many terms are there? Yes, rightly said, there are 3 terms. As we can see that there are 3 terms which are separated by the plus and minus sign. So, we'll write the terms which are there: m upon 2 minus n upon 3 and 5. Which are the terms with variables? M upon 2, because m is a variable, minus n upon 3, again 5 does not have a variable, so it directly goes into constants. Now the coefficient of these variables, how will I write m by 2? Can I write only divide by 2? Because we are supposed to write by removing the variable. So can I write this? No. But if you see this, m by 2 is nothing but m or half into m, and n by 3 is nothing but minus 1 by 3 into n. So this is this and this is this. Half m is nothing but m by 2. So my coefficient of m by 2 is 1 by 2. Minus n by 3 can be written as minus 1 upon 3 into n. So the coefficient is minus 1 by 3 and the variable is n. So do not make silly mistakes over here. There are chances of making a silly mistake in a panicky situation. So always think like this: m by 2 can be written as half of m, minus n by 3 can be written as minus 1 by 3 of n. So we get variables separated and coefficients separated. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question is: classify the following as monomial, binomial, trinomial. So as we know, what are monomials, binomials and trinomials? We have only one term over here with these variables a square, b square, xy, and there is no two term, second term or third term, which is separated by a plus or minus sign. So this together is one single term and it is a monomial. Now 8 plus b, this cannot be added because it does not have same variable. So there are two terms and hence it is a binomial. Third, there are three terms: 4p square r plus 14pq plus 3q square r. Hence it's a trinomial. Over here there has to be done something for this. So when you multiply the coefficients. 9 6 are 54 and x square, y square, z square. So this together is one single term and hence it is a monomial. Always look, a shortcut is always look for the plus or minus sign between the terms. If there is no plus or minus sign, that means that's a one single term, or those are belonging to the same term. With this, we finish our introductory lecture on algebraic expressions. We'll move on to some more operations in the next class. Thank you. Stay safe. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.